There was a court hearing today for New York City Mayor Eric Adams. A judge will rule on whether or not to drop the federal corruption case against the mayor. The acting deputy attorney general ordered prosecutors to drop those charges, which sparked multiple resignations from top Justice Department officials in New York. The mayor was charged last year with bribery and fraud. He pleaded not guilty. NBC News correspondent Rehema Ellis is outside that court in Lower Manhattan for us. Rehema, bring us up to date. What happened today?
Well, it took about an hour and a half this afternoon where the judge, he questioned the attorneys with the Department of Justice about their request to dismiss these charges against Mayor Adams. He also asked Mayor Adams at one point, had you ever been promised anything in exchange for the dismissal of these charges? Mayor Adams said no, he did not. This is a question that's been brought up several times and led to the resignation of several prosecutors with the Department of Justice because they were concerned about what they said was an essence of quid pro quo. They accused the Department of Justice of making a promise that they would dismiss the charges against Mayor Adams without prejudice if, in turn, he would agree to going along with President Trump's immigration policies, enforcement of those immigration policies. And the judge spoke to that and asked questions about that in the court today. On both sides of this opportunity for presenting this case to the court, the Department of Justice said, no, that was not what was presented. Mayor Adams said, no, he was not promised anything. The attorney for the mayor said, no, he was not promised anything. He said, it never happened. I'm quoting here. Allow me to read. He said, I am ready to raise my right hand now and testify there was no quid pro quo agreement between prosecutors and Adams that he would deliver on immigration issues from the Trump administration in exchange for dismissing the charges without prejudice. And so at the end of that, the judge said, I'm taking it all under advisement, and he will rule at a later time. Okay.
Rehema, the mayor has really been defiant, right, since the moment he was charged. You touched on that. Can you talk about the pressure he's facing today to resign and also support that he still has among others in New York City?
He's facing a lot of pressure to resign, including from 4 of his top deputy mayors, 4 of them who announced on Monday that they're going to be tendering their resignation. As he walked into this courtroom this afternoon, there were supporters and there were people who were quite literally booing the mayor as he walked into the court. But at the top of the stairs of this courthouse, there were people there supporting him, and he gave them the thumbs up. But there have been a lot of questions raised about whether the mayor should even be removed from his position in light of these charges. And the governor of New York, Kathy Hochul, has been asked to remove the mayor. She had a lot of meetings with people yesterday on that question. She has said she wasn't going to do anything. At this point, she wanted to review everything. And if she were to remove the mayor, it would be the first time in this city's 235-year history that a duly elected sitting mayor would be removed from office. She's made no such decision at this point. Kate?
All right, Rehema Ellis, thanks so much for being there.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.